Hello guys, my name is Mohamad Arif Hakimin, and now I would like to present you guys about management environment in Pizza Hut Sri Iskandar Perak. First of all, there are two main components of external factor that could affect the organization management, which through economic and demographic. Economy, basically, they have to face various change, which are through GST implementation, GST evasion, and also during the implementation of SST, sales and service tax. After the implementation, the food price of Pizza Hut still look expensive. Why? Because it is already included with tax. Many people have made wrong perception on it because they thought which after implementation of SST, the food price is lower than during the implementation of GST. No, it's not correct. So moving on to the next point is about demographic. The location of the restaurant is quite strategic because its area is surrounded by many students from UITM and UTP. So from my view, it tends to give more positive impact to the organization instead of negative impact. So in Pizza Hut, what is make them look so unique? In Pizza Hut, they are practicing a culture where they greet customer with warm welcome and smiling. But that kind of practice is not only applied to the customer, it also applied to the each worker inside the organization.
Decision making. So, what is decision making? Decision making usually takes place when there is structured problem and unstructured problem. How do they solve it? Is usually by proposing a program solution or unprogrammed solution. Based on our case study from Pizza Hut Sri Iskandar, we have observed that the structured problem that may happen there is staff turnover. This is where most of their staff are based on part-time workers. Why they didn't take any full-time workers? Because full-time workers, they need to pay higher for their salary. So how they solve it is by having a standard of procedure. This is where program solution take place, and they will have their standard of procedure in recruiting new workers. After the workers have been chosen, they will need to have a certain level of training with their own guideline in order to make sure their staff can produce a high quality pizza. What are the unstructured problems that may happen at Sri Iskandar Pizza Hut delivery? Is having a wrong sales plan. This is because their sales plan are based on previous year, and the headquarters of Pizza Hut will give certain amount of budget to them. The consequences is that they will have loss in terms of perishable items such as pizza dough, and while insufficient amount of budget will cause insufficient amount of raw material. So how do they solve it? Is of course by unprogrammed solution. So what are the unprogrammed solution? How do they solve it? Is by their managers will have meetings and try to find a solution based on their past experience by considering certain factors such as public holiday, school holidays, and others.
I will explain to you about planning strategies and processes of Pizza Hut delivery Sri Iskandar Perak. Before we move further, I need to define what planning is mean in context of management. Planning is deciding on the organization's objective or goals and getting the job done by establishing several strategies to achieve those goals. According to Ms. Shakila, the most important key factors to take into consideration when building a plan is availability and capability of the staff itself. Having experienced workers much easier as they better at doing their job and capable of coping into new strategies compared to inexperienced workers. Inexperienced workers will take more time to fit into certain situation. Thus, having them doing things beyond their capabilities will bring the strategies to a pitfall. Plus, if the number of workers or the staff available is not enough, more workload will undermine the workers' motivation and decrease their productivity. Okay, next we move on to how Ms. Shakila informed her team about strategic decision she planned. According to her, in every shift, they have 5-minute briefing before they start doing their works. Manager will talk whatever needed for the day and keep repeating this every day. But if they have very significant things to talk about, they will have staff meeting to discuss and explain to the team so that everyone will be well informed. How? She monitor the progress toward the strategic planning. According to her, every week, manager will review previous week's performance and planning. What should they do for the incoming week? So, based on the previous week performance, manager can do adjustment or improvise the restaurant flow and strategies so that the result will be aligned to the restaurant KPI, Key Performance Index.
Hi, my name is Iman and I'll be explaining about human resources management, which is crucial for sustainability and stability of an organization. So basically there are 3 things that they do, which is employment training, helping new employees to adapt to the company's surrounding, and identify the performance goals and make correction if needed. So in recruiting the employees, HRM need to assess the human resources need and develop a plan to meet those needs. Okay, so in our case study, Pizza Hut, according to their manager, Puan Shakila, she said once the candidate is called for an interview, the candidates need to answer a few questions from team member inventory, recruitment inventory. So the question used is based on a structured interview guidelines where they already decide what to expect from the candidate answer. And the answer will be evaluated and mark which category does the candidate falls. And in terms of training, Pizza Hut practice on-the-job training method conducted by the manager itself. But then there's also off-the-job training method for the managers where they need to go for it first before they can conduct the training for their employees. And the manager also will evaluate each of the employees' performance and make improvement if needed. To keep the performance at high level, Pizza Hut give bonus and appreciation to their workers. Puan Shakila also stressed that the relationship between employees and management play crucial roles on employee performance. Lastly, in terms of external issue, most common one will be the direct competitors like Domino that sells same product, as well as indirect competitors by local food that offer variety type of food but at rather cheaper price. And to overcome this, they put most of their effort on preparing the highest quality product as well as the best customer service. And in the end, it depends on the customer preference which restaurant they prefer. So that's all.
So today, I'm going to talk about how Miss Shakila, a manager of Pizza Hut, Sri Iskandar, managing change and innovation in her company. So there are 3 types of managing change. The first one, change in the organization structure. Secondly, change in technology. And lastly, change in people. First, I'm going to talk about change in the organization structure. So when there is a new manager appointed, he or she will decide whether to recreate or to redesign a new standard operating procedure or to follow the old standard operating procedure made by the previous manager. But most of the cases, the new manager will redesign the standard operating procedure in order to increase the productivity of their workers. Next, changing in technology also can affect the performance of the company. By using a new system called kitchen display system, it will be easier for her staff to take an order from the customer as it works in sequence. It also requires less training in order to operate. Last but not least, change in people in terms of attitude and behavior. As a manager, she is responsible to motivate or to emphasize to all of her staff in order for them to work in very efficient and effective way so that the company will achieve their goal. In conclusion, as a manager, she did all the 3 types of the organization change in order for the company to achieve success in the future.